Welcome back to XFeed. This is a show where we go over collectibles news, and I have to apologize because I have been ungodly sick. If you know anybody that's sick, even if you're like, you know what, it's probably worth hanging out, it's absolutely not. Just vibe out, hang at home. Hope you guys have had a good holiday break, and I think everybody's back in a normal routine. Now, what's not too normal is this coming across my timeline. $3,304 was the price that was paid to the winning bidder for a follow on Instagram from Mike Tyson. What are we doing? Like, I mean, I guess that's bragging rights to a point, but what would you rather do with $3,000 than have some account follow you? I'm trying to see like the idea behind it. Like, do people go and look at who others follow? Now, they do that in sports, right? You try to say, and especially in the Toronto Blue Jays case, I think it was like people were following like the wives of Toronto Blue Jay players and saying, oh, look, this person's wife followed that person's wife. And oh yeah, that means that they're going to end up coming over here on a signing. And it's like, okay, maybe. But what the hell is the point otherwise? I'm trying to grasp the idea behind it. And if you haven't seen, everybody's now really jumping on the collectibles bandwagon. Obviously, Gary Vee, one of the people doing such that. So what does he have to say?
Collectibles are now a communication engine. The way that automobiles, art, and fashion have been, collectibles has now joined. Why did fashion get big? We use what we wear to communicate to others. When a woman sees someone walk by with a very rare handbag, they both know. Why do we wear our things? Why am I wearing this hat? Literally every piece of clothes you wear. Why do we post where we vacation? Why did we want Mercedes-Benz and BMW cars when we drive around? We're peacocking. We're communicating. Often around insecurities, which is another topic for another video, but occasionally around tribalism and fandom. Collectibles is the new stature. It's the new thing. Like paintings in a home, your sports card collection, your rare toy, your little boo-boo hanging on your bag. Collectibles are now a communication engine. Collectibles.
Okay, so that's sort of interesting. And Harry Swan was did are you dying? Are you at work? What's the sit? Can't believe that we both got sick at the same time on other parts of the world. Crazy work. But so with the collectible craze, right? And one of the reasons we're covering this is because obviously it's one of the hottest things like across the world right now. Everybody's really trying to do different things of it. Within that, we are seeing the kind of openness, I suppose, to the tokenization of collectibles, where things are getting traded digitally. Now, why specifically is that something that we need to really kind of dive into more so? And we're going to get into a clip from the RWA SegMints podcast that I just recorded yesterday with Nick from Claynosaurz, which was a super fun episode. But they actually started on the digital front and now are really doing a lot of things on the physical front. But number one, think of the shipping and costs of shipping and everything to deal with the shipping across the world, right? It's just money. And you're like, oh my God. Like so a couple months back, I did an interview with, I think it was a clothing company based in the States, I think, or at least they were shipping from the States. It might've been elsewhere that a lot of the team was originated from, but I got it shipped to where I am. Okay. It was 3 shirts. One of them I paid for. I think they gave like 2 of them free just as like a thank you. And I was like, all right, cool. Appreciate you. It's $150 just to get the package of one shirt that I think I paid like $40 for. And it was like, do I just say, you know what? You can have, I don't even care. You can have it. I don't even care. And so situations such as that, I think are going to highlight the aspect of people being more open to the digital front. Now, when you say the word that we shall not say, it triggers people. But the idea is that it's just digital. And we're going to see where some of these major brands decide to slowly integrate things in a digital front. And within the conversation, and Diabolic Ivar Corwin, you guys are crazy. Appreciate you coming on through. Happy belated New Year, everyone. 100%. You said hi on YouTube too. Yeah, I see you. So within Claynosaurz, they did something that was super interesting. And I guess let me just show like a video of Claynosaurz first, because I'm of the realization that there's too many things out there for everybody to understand everything. So here's like a New Year's one. Holy jeez, excuse me. Okay, so there's your idea. They do a lot of these short, kind of quick blips of humorous things, and it's these kind of fun, adventurous dinosaurs, if you will. It kind of gives the vibes of like Madagascar, if you want like another animation, or Ice Age. And these guys again have worked with Disney. They've actually previously worked on like Game of Thrones, Paddington. It was a super interesting interview with Nick. But for Claynosaurz, they started on that digital front because they were able to test and see, okay, are people actually interested in this without pursuing a lot? Now they're doing games. Now they've announced a TV show. They've announced a little bit of everything. And within this podcast, I specifically ask about some of these brands jumping into tokenization. I can ask, with the fact that we're seeing so many people being more open to the aspect of having a Web3 integration, or taking their collectible brand as a whole and having some sort of tokenization as a part of it, what's the single most important lesson you've learned through having the tokenized aspect associated with what you're doing?
Oh man, that's a big question. Yeah, it's a few things. First is, do not, when they're on chain and they can be traded, they're innately financialized. And I think the biggest takeaway is, do not overly financialize these things. They're collectibles. People can do what they want with them. It's not the point. And I think that creating a large, healthy collectibles ecosystem is the right way to go. And at the time, and still today, there was this fear of like more collectibles means dilution. That's not true. The bigger your ecosystem is, the better it is for the super rares. The more you actually have an ecosystem that lives across the entire demand curve. But you got to be careful with that, because it's so right away it's financialized. It's not like Pokemon cards, because there was a lot of friction with physical cards. It's like, you open them, you get them. I got to go to a store somewhere and maybe sell them. And as a kid, you can't really do that anyways. But when they're NFTs, it's on the internet and it's instant. And so, you have to make sure you align the incentives of those early fans and collectors, and make sure that they're there for the right reason. So I think one of the biggest takeaways, curating the right fan base, curating the right community that understands what your North Star is, that understands what you're doing, and trying, for us anyways, as a company, is trying not to over-index hype all the time. Like, we don't want to sell air. We want to build a sustainable brand. We
don't want to sell air. Yo, bravo. Love that. But again, if you're wanting to hear more from Nick, again, I'll add the link down in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. And of course, we share it on X. And then if you just go back to the screenshot that we showed on the screen a moment ago, you can look that up on any podcasting platform. This is what Gary Vee is working on with VeeFriends IP. Yeah, 100%. Yo, Diabolic coming through on the Prime subscription. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for using that here. And yeah, so one thing also, like on a side tangent, is you guys have probably seen for quite a while. Wow, quite a while. You've been doing it for a bit, but I would say like within the past week or so, Gary's really started ramping up, talking about VeeFriends, and in general, we've seen the market uptick on the digital front for a lot of you. If you've seen, and the notion is, okay, well, the tax loss harvesting to finish off 2025 was really suppressing the market for a variety of reasons, and we could look for one reason or another, but it is almost funny, like genuinely comical, to a point of how fast the sentiment shifted from just pure despair on everything to people being like, oh yeah, let me go searching through this collection, that one, and it's kind of a fun time. Like it's a complete 180 on that front. We're seeing different people that are cheerleading certain causes or activations, collectibles, whatever it be. You'll notice probably a huge uptick continuing throughout this year if people got the cash to spend. This, I've tried to come up with a theory of like what I think the price is. So let me show you this and then we'll digress. So somebody pulled a Babe Ruth 1/1 auto from the Topps Allen and Ginter set. And we're not going to play the audio with it, but you open it, there's the autograph. Fact that that's in the pristine condition it is, holy crap. So this is where things get interesting of, all right, what exactly is that worth in 2026 when collectibles are as huge as they are? So first of all, I started going and trying to find out, all right, well, what does like Babe Ruth things go for? And I found the 10 most expensive trading cards ever sold. And this article was from a couple years ago, but it highlighted this 1933 card, and it showed that the a sale for it in 2021 went for $4.2 million. That was just a Babe Ruth card. Now, the other one we saw, again, there's not really like anything to it. It's just a signature, but the signatures have a huge value. A while ago, we compared where there was an Michael Jordan and Kobe card, and they were like NBA Logamans, right? One of them had a signature, one of them didn't. One went for like $10 million more because it had the signature. So keep that in mind. So then I kept looking, and I found another article that was about the most valuable baseball, signed baseballs, excuse me. And on the second on that list was from the 1933 All-Star Game, which I didn't know All-Star games had collectibles that were worth this amount of money, but I guess when it's Babe Ruth, it is. And the estimated value for that is $750,000. So we saw another one that was not signed, again, high grade, whatever, super retro, not that many of them for Babe Ruth, at several $1 million. We have an autograph from an All-Star game at $750,000. The one of one Allen and Ginter, just signature of Babe Ruth. It's got to be a multiple $100,000 card, right? When it, like, in comparison, it has to be. When you're comparing it, it has to be. Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the big things around Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the fact that they have these new like over-frame cards.
Are these like?
What do you think of the look of these?
Looks, oh, I see something shiny back there. Wait, what could that be? That's cool. All right. We got that guy again. Whoever this little fire guy is.
I feel like I don't know if I like the foil on it. Like, it's almost too much.
Ooh, a vanilla 2500. You know, I like that. That looks like an extra secret rare or something. Okay, what is that back there? Okay, this also has like a parallel foil to it. If you can see, it's very subtle. And
nice. Oh, Merry Christmas. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good. Corwin, the one-on-one topic is timely for me. Excuse me. Was in Florida this past week for a funeral. Sorry to hear that. During downtime, picked up a blaster box of Topps Chrome Star Wars. Ripped back at the hotel, pulled a one-of-one super refractor of Rose Tico. My first one-of-one ever, and from a blaster. Okay, I'm gonna... we're breaking this out early here. I need a red card myself, because I have no idea who the hell Rose Tico is. Is that from, like, a specific series? Seen Rogue One, seen the majority of the movies. Haven't seen... I don't think I've seen, like, the last two of, like, the newer ones with, like, Rey in it. I remember watching the Force Awakens in theaters, but I don't know if I actually finished the series whatsoever. So I don't know who that is, but I am mad pumped that you got a one-of-one in there. Let me know if you end up selling it or how much that ends up being worth. Continuing the one-of-one train, though, the Mickey Mouse one-of-one. On YouTube, we've been uploading all these shorts, and it's funny as hell to watch like which ones get like a ton of views. And I uploaded one where somebody spent $20,000 on Elsa one-of-one, which was, it was just this card, right? But it was signed on the bottom by like Elsa or whoever was like acting as it. And it was just like people flaming the hell out of it. Why the hell is somebody spending $20,000 on that superficial thing? What is the world coming to? What does it look like for a one-of-one Mickey Mouse cards from Topps Chrome Disney? You've got a friend in me. So we go from one Disney Topps product to another one. Pixar Gold. Here is the one-of-one of Woody and Buzz Lightyear. Do you get sick of this to a point? I've seen the comments of people asking, if Pokemon were to do a one-of-one, do you think that would be good or bad? Because literally everyone else is doing these one-of-one cards. And I think it's cool that, like, to a point that there's like a chase, but also like it's the only thing that people want. So actually, this is a good question for Corwin. Corwin, when you pulled that one-of-one, how absolutely ecstatic was it? You gotta give me the breakdown on the feels and the motion behind it. The comparison between sports cards and general trading card games is insane on the grading front. So take a look at this. Gem Rate is a page that takes the stats from all of these grading companies and puts them in these nice little graphs, and it's wonderful. And in December, you can see on the year over year, there was really not that much growth in the sports and miscellaneous side. Now, obviously, CGC, you can see that it's up a fair bit, but generally speaking, year over year, PSAs plus 2%, SGC minus 69%, and then Beckett's up 3%, while Tag is down 15%. Not great, right? But then you scroll down, and this is the one for the TCG and non-sport. And you're just getting absolutely kiboshed in the face. PSA up 97% year over year. CGC 109%. Beckett 187%. Tag 82%. And then SGC's like fall off a cliff. But ignoring that aspect, it's like, wow. So sports cards are not seeing that much growth year over year, like at all in terms of grading. But on just these TCGs, wow. Just arguably going completely parabolic year over year. So something to note on that front. She was in The Last Jedi. She was the one who saved Finn by crashing into him while he was flying at Kylo's troops while they were blasting the door open before Luke appears. Oh, I ripped the pack, did the card fan, and saw 1-1. Dropped the pack, started shaking. Hell yeah. Yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then from GemRate as well, they also did a top 50 graded athletes of all time. Michael Jordan on that list, leading number one, obviously. Shohei Ohtani, crushing it at 2. Ken Griffey Jr. at 3. LeBron James at 4. Kobe Bryant at 5. And then Victor Wembanyama. Where the hell is Terps at? The Wembanyama. Like Jeter, Brady, Nolan Ryan, Luka Doncic, Mike Trout, Zion Williamson in the top 15, Ja Morant, Barry Bonds. Kind of wild to like just look at this and then like continuing to scroll down, and Caitlin Clark, you know, only a few years of having cards and still cracking the top 50 of all-time graded cards, beating Tiger Woods. And then Lionel Messi. Isn't soccer weird? You'll scroll the timeline, you'll see everybody arguing about who's like the greatest soccer player ever. And it's the Ronaldo Messi argument. You see how much money all these soccer players are making, right? It's the biggest sport in the world, everything else. And Messi's only top 50 in graded athletes. So does that just mean like soccer fans don't really care about trading cards, or they don't care about getting them graded comparatively? Very, very interesting. What do you guys think of the Stranger Things finale? Not bad. Okay. Kind of all right. It was interesting. What was more interesting is everybody doing a collab around Stranger Things. The NFL. What is this? What? Are we just sticking names on a logo and saying we're going to call it a day? I was seeing images of last night on WWE. They did a Stranger Things night. They didn't have anybody from the cast or anything, but they like flipped the logos upside down, had some of the music from it, and then had like a red tinge for the lighting. Everybody's just riding that Stranger Things train, including Topps. If you didn't see, they did 2 different box releases, one of them going for $300, another one going for $3,000. Oh my goodness, the amount of money that's getting just like spent in the card space is unreal. Now, to be fair, this is going to be like the last Stranger Things card release, I'm imagining, unless they have other shows, other spin-offs, other recreations of things of sorts. 10 for the 3,000 one, 10 cards per pack, 1 pack per box. Wait, what? Hold on. Am I reading that wrong? Oh, 10 boxes per case. Okay. I was about to say, did they really just like buy that to get 10 cards? That'd have been ridiculous. But we got a short too, where we highlighted one of the characters that like died randomly in the middle of the series that was in it for, I don't know, like 3 minutes total. You could buy it on eBay for like $1.50 like a month ago. I'm curious what the cheapest card for Stranger Things is now. How is Ellie above Tiger, Barry Saunders, and Larry Bird? That whole list, I think you could probably do a breakdown of just holy crap. Reddit user spent 20 years collecting every single Xbox 360 game. He now has 1,353 games and variants, with the last one being gifted to him by his son. How do you think the gaming landscape is going to shape up? Because we used to have so many this is, Xbox exclusive. This one's PlayStation exclusive. Nintendo obviously doing their own thing. I feel like we just don't see like the mass amount of games dedicated for a console anymore. So these sort of things, I don't know if we'll see it happen anymore. But respect it. We're going to have to beef about this. Do you have an air fryer? I've always put the sheet on top, but apparently you're supposed to put it under the grate. But if you put it under the grate, then the grate gets dirty. Where if you just put it on top, you can prevent the grate from getting dirty. So realistically, which would be the proper way we should do it? I say I still put the wrapping paper on top. Just saying. And some Pokemon news. Will there be a new Pokemon Museum promo card? Oh my goodness. Are we actually back to seeing the Van Gogh cards? As part of celebrating Pokemon's 30th anniversary, the National History Museum will hold a special exhibition with Pokemon starting this January. The tickets are already sold out though. Son of a gun. There will also be a pop-up store selling exclusive merchandise that will be open from January 26th to March 22nd. Anything that Pokemon does, I feel like it just causes a scene. So I'm gonna be watching with bated breath to see how that ends up working out. Harry, because everyone bought everyone, so now Xbox exclusives are on PlayStation. It's awesome. Pokemon turns 30 next month, and the releases are about to be extravagant. True, very true. And ultimately, here's the question: do you think the cookies or the brownies taste better? And ignoring the fact that we have 3 different dips to dip your already sugary, sweet, delicious baked goods in, you got to decide. You think the brownies look the best? See, I've always been like a Cookie Monster kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Which, okay, Harry, this guy's got jokes. Holy smokes. And then take a look at this also. On the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, as Harry Swan has said, we are waiting to see what happens on the golden auction for an absolute ton of different Pokemon collectibles. They have a base set sealed box. I think that one's starting at $100,000. They have a first edition Charizard that is starting at $100,000. And then, of course, this Pikachu Illustrator, in which they are starting at $500,000.
This is the rarest, most valuable Pokemon card in the entire world. This is the one-of-one PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator that I bought for $5.275 million, set a Guinness World Record, and walked out in my WrestleMania debut wearing this thing around my neck.
This is the rarest card in the entire world.
The most valuable Pokemon card in the entire hobby.
The holy grail right here.
That is amazing. It's the holy grail Pokemon card.
It is the holy grail. Ken, there's no other. There is only one PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator.
Yep.
It does not get better than this.
May I?
Go for it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is lot number 1.
Damn.
One lucky person out there will be able to own it, and it comes with the custom case and chain. What do you pay? About 85 grand for this?
70K for that.
70K.
Yeah,
70K for
yeah.
But diamonds have gone up since then.
Yeah,
So here you go. So again, we're doing it together, and it's not just this. This is going to be the greatest Pokemon auction ever, plus all TCG. So check it out. It's an auction for the history books.
Facts. Golden auctions, baby.
Let's do it.
So again, you can end up getting more, as Corwin's saying, The King of Collectibles on Netflix. If you haven't seen, there's multiple different seasons within that. But that's going to do it for this edition of XFeed. Thank you guys so much for coming back and being so chatty in the live stream. It feels very good. I didn't know after being away for so long, everybody would be right back at it, and it looks like that is going to be the case. So again, if you happen to have any friends that are interested in any of these sort of things, I'd love for you to be able to share the stream with them. And of course, for that RWA SegMints podcast, if you're wanting to hear more from Claynosaurz, and last week we also talked with where it was standing or watching people stand over garbage cans, rip Pokemon packs, and just throw them in the garbage. Collectibles. It's going to be very wild within 2026. We're going to be covering it together and be here live every single day. Guys, thank you so much for coming on through. Corwin, I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your week as well, and I'll see you tomorrow if you're around. Harry Swan, Diabolical. Listen, that's what an unbelievable guy, and Ivar. It's unreal. And everybody watching afterwards, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you soon. Peace.